Really relaxing tension from the spine, from the shoulders and the back of the neck. Relaxing the jaw and the forehead and around the eyes. And then beginning to tune into your breathing. Allowing the belly to rise and fall with the breath. And then moving into 3-part breath, breathing in first through the belly, the ribs, the chest, and exhaling from the chest, from the ribs, from the belly. Just find your own rhythm with the 3-part breath this week. Breathing in as fully and deeply, slowing it down as much as you can. And really taking time to fully exhale, maybe a slight pause at the end of the exhale to prepare you for your next full inhalation. Just finding that space between the 3 parts of the breath. And then at the end of the next exhale, just release the practice, allow the body and the mind just to be free for a moment, letting go of all focus. And then we'll gently draw the knees in towards the chest, hug them in, and rock a little from side to side, releasing the lower back. And we'll just start with our regular warm-up stretches, just allowing ourselves to shift our conscious state through this warm-up section. Let's drop both knees to the right, stretching the arms away and turning the gaze to the left. Take a moment to really focus on where you want to breathe in this pose, extending the breath into the ribs, softening the belly. And then pulling the belly in to bring the knees up and over the other way. And again, just explore the breath here. And then we'll bring the legs back up, placing the feet flat to the floor, crossing the ankle over the knee, and stretching into the glutes as you pull the knee to the chest. Maybe rock a little, feel the stretch into the hips. And then extend that leg up to the ceiling and lengthen into the hamstring as best you can, pressing the heel away. And then we'll swap sides, starting with the glute stretch, ankle over knee. And just pull that knee in. And then extend the foot up towards the ceiling. Good. And then release. And let's just take happy baby pose. Such a different kind of release for the hips. And then we'll gently rock up to sitting. Take that stretch out in front as you lengthen into the back and arms. And then we'll swing the legs around. We'll start by tucking the toes under, stretching out the soles of the feet. And I like to take eagle arms in this pose, just to give my shoulders, upper back a bit of an extra stretch. And then swapping sides. Good. And then we'll move to cat-cow and just move at your own pace here. Really working that vinyasa, really getting the flow of the breath moving through the body now. And then we'll tuck the toes and we'll pedal out the feet in downward facing dog. Squeezing the heels down into the floor. Opening into the back of the legs. And we'll step the right foot between the hands, drop the back knee, come to a low lunge, stretch into the hip flexor. Again, just find that breath. And then placing the left hand down, either extend the right arm up into a twist or reach around for the back foot. Good. Let's move back to downward facing dog, pedal things out once again. And then we'll step that left foot through. And again, come to the low lunge. Steady into the breath. And then add either just a twist or also a quad stretch. Ah, the cramp. Sometimes it doesn't. It's funny, isn't it? Was it the hamstring that cramps? Yeah. Gosh, weird. Okay, let's step forwards with the back foot. And just hang here, just lengthen out the back of the body. Then we'll roll up through the spine, coming up to stand. Interlace the hands, lift the chest. And press into the upper back. And then shaking everything out. Great, so we'll just take a nice flow this evening. I might throw a few strengthy moves in. Let's have a look. Any requests for a pose or a kind of sequence, or you guys want to do inversions or strength practice or just a really consistent flow? You would like to do more headstand? We love headstand. Headstand's fun. Okay, we'll leave some time for a bit of headstand. The what? Oh, the one that you were talking about the other day, down into crow. Oh, the arm balance. You want to do that? Oh, Neil's upping the game. He is. He is. And everyone will cheer. Yeah, yeah. That's good. And actually, it's really accessible to everybody as if you don't want to actually lift off the floor, you know. The one he's talking about is, so all of you can come to there, yeah? And even that is a really good strengthener, both for my abdominals on the side, my obliques, and also into my shoulders. And then you can practice trying to lower into it. Is that the one you mean? And then lifting the back leg. And then as I was talking, Neil, you can see I'm resting on my elbow, which is sort of cheating a bit. So can you see I'm actually resting on my right elbow? Yeah. So the really strong people do it with the elbow out from under the rib cage. But, you know, you've got to take your things where you can get them. So, you know, resting on the elbow is an option. So we'll just play with it and you don't have to lift up. We can watch Neil and clap. It'll be fine. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Okay, let's go. Let's inhale the arms up. It's just good to breathe and move. Exhale, hands to the floor. Let's step the right leg back, drop the knee, and we'll come to 3 pulses. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pulsing down. 2 more. Big breath in and exhale. 1 more time. Good. Sink into the lunge. Hold it there. Take a deep inhale. And we'll take the hands down to the floor. Let's step to plank. Let's find that nice, strong core. Suck the belly in, just tuck the pelvis under, lift your knees and press the heels away. And then really try and engage the lats, squeeze the shoulder blades down and towards each other. And breathe. Good. Knees, chest, hover the chin. Just hover there a moment, feeling the triceps. Great, let's release to the floor. You've all got that move beautifully now. Inch the fingertips under a fraction more, tops of the feet down. Let's take a baby cobra and hold it. Continue to breathe. Good, let's lift the hands. Let's inhale up a bit more. And release. Good, let's step back, stretch back to child's pose. Baby cobra, really hard. Looks like an easy pose, but it's challenging. Let's tuck the toes into downward facing dog. And we'll put a pulse in. Inhale, rising up onto the toes. Exhale, squeezing down. 2 more. Big breath in. Breathing through the nose, not through the mouth. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Let's take a single-legged dog, stretching the right leg up into the air. And just hold single dog for a moment. Good, let's step the right foot between the hands, dropping the back knee. And we'll 3 pulse it here. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sinking the hips down. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. 1 more time. Good. Hold into the lunge. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. Stepping the back foot forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to stay in our forward bend, catching hold of the ankles and beginning to stretch out deeper into the hamstrings. And then we'll release and roll up through the spine. Inhale, the arms float up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Left side, so I've got hair somewhere. Inhale up, it's really annoying me. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left leg back, drop the knee and float the arms up. Inhale, let's take a pulse. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. And we'll bring the hands straight down this time. Inhale, stepping to plank. Let's hold our plank as we breathe and really just focus on engaging through the core again. And then pushing through the toes, knees, chest, chin, and release down. Let's take a high cobra, inhaling up, and then hold high cobra and really focus on trying to get the shoulders down by engaging those lats again, lifting the heart, elbows in at the sides, and then we'll push back into child's pose. Tucking the toes under, let's move to downward facing dog. And inhale, lift the heels. Exhale and lower. Two more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and lower. One more time. Good. And then let's lift the left leg up into single dog. Open into the hips. And then when you're ready, let's step the left foot between the hands, dropping the back knee. And we'll take 3 more pulses. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale. And one more time. Good. Hands come down. Inhale, step forwards, half lift. And exhale, lower. Let's grab a hold of the ankles. Pull in a little bit deeper, chest to thighs, head to knees. And then we'll roll up, sucking the belly in as you go. Inhaling up and bringing the hands to the heart. Take a deep breath in. Good. Let's inhale, the arms lift up. Exhale and fold. We'll step the right leg back to runner's lunge, so keeping the knee off this time, sinking the hips down. Lift your belly off your front thigh. And then I want you to come up to standing and lift the knee up in front of you. So really engaging that left glute to find the balance. That's it. And then slowly getting back down to runner's lunge. Step the foot right to the back of the mat and get low into the hips again. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Lifting up, find the balance, engaging through the hips, and then slowly back to runner's lunge. One more time. Inhale up. And then slowly back to runner's lunge. Good. Let's add the twist. Right hand down, left hand up. Reach through the fingertips, rotate the shoulders, and breathe there. So we're going to move to side plank from here. So that might either look like dropping your back knee and stepping the foot back, or keeping that knee up and just stepping the foot either in front or on top of the standing leg. Great. And then see if you can get back to runner's lunge. Good. Lovely. Let's step to plank. So from plank, you're either going to stay here in plank, or you're going to drop both knees and hold modified plank, or you're going to lower onto your elbows to forearm plank and hold that. So if you're in, well, whichever option you're in, really squeeze the shoulders away from the ears and suck the belly in. Good. If you're on your forearms, let's get back up to plank. Good. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. And into up dog or cobra, roll the shoulders back and down. And let's push back into child's pose. Reset and find your breath. Tucking the toes into down dog. So here in down dog, just walk the feet in, 1 step each. So you're in a slightly narrower dog. Turn your hands inwards slightly so that you're making a triangle shape with your index fingers and thumbs. And then bend your elbows slowly out to the side
as you take your head towards the mat. Only needs to be a centimetre, or it can be several inches depending on your own strength. And then straighten them again, and then do that 3 more times. So it can be just a very tiny dip, or it can be more, depending on the strength of your shoulders. Great. And then just reset your dog. And then lifting the right leg into the air. Let's have a straight-legged, straight-hipped dog. So your hips are square, your toes are pointing downwards, your knee is very straight, and you're kicking your heel up towards the ceiling. So not a hip opener, really a leg lengthener. Good. Can you swing the right leg to land between the hands? If not, drop the knees and walk it forwards. And this time, we'll come up to high lunge, sweeping the arms up. So this option we're going to take first is with a straight back leg. So keeping the back knee really lifted, I then want you to sink without bending that back knee at all. Good. Hold it there for a moment and breathe. And then from there, we're going to do a similar action to before. We're going to come up to Warrior 3. And then bend the knee and tap back to high lunge. And then see if you can repeat that 2 more times. And back. So working our glutes a lot. No balance. 1 more. And this time we'll place the feet together and fold into a forward bend. Just take a few breaths there. It can be passive or active, your choice. And then we'll slowly roll up through the spine and inhale the arms, lift up and bring the hands to the heart. Take a couple of deep breaths. Good, let's do that on the other side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale and fold. Step the left leg back to runner's lunge and just sink the hips down. Find a nice deep lunge. And then you're going to come up to standing with the left leg up in front. Whoa! And don't be surprised if, like I'm discovering, your balance is much better on one side than the other. And then thread it back to runner's lunge. And let's go 2 more times, lifting up and threading back. With as much control, try not to rush it because it's a little harder when we're really in control of the movement. Don't worry if your balance is completely off today, it does come and go. Let's step it back to runner's lunge. And then drop the left palm down, lift the right hand up and find that twist. Good, hands come down, let's step to plank. And again, either holding plank or lowering to the forearms. Sucking the belly in. Great. And then walking back to plank. Let's lead with the opposite elbow this time. So whichever one you felt was familiar, go the other way. Lower to forearm plank. And back up to plank with the other elbow. Good. Knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Drop the hips. Up dog or cobra. And let's push back into child's pose. Tucking the toes into down dog. And then we'll lift the left leg up into a square-hipped, single-legged dog. Did I miss out side plank?
Did I do that from plank or from dog? I did it from plank, didn't I? Okay, come back to plank. Did I? Completely confused. No, I think I did it from dog. From dog. Ah, we did. Oh, okay, I can put that in a minute. Right, down dog. Sorry, guys. I did think my brain was a bit fluffy tonight, so you might need to remind me about stuff. Left leg lifts, and we're in a square-hipped dog. So making sure the hips are square, the leg is straight, the left toes are pointing down. And I've forgotten the push-ups. So let's take that foot to the floor, walk the legs in a little bit, turn the hands slightly inwards, make that diamond shape, and then bend the elbows out to the side and straighten them 4 times. You don't have to go very far. And then reset your dog, left leg up, and step it through between the hands. And we'll come up to high lunge, inhaling up. I can't put it in here because we've got the wrong leg forwards. Never mind, you got away with it. Side plank only on one side. When you're ready, straighten the back knee and then sink low and breathe because you'll really feel it. Big stretch in the hip flexor with the back knee straight. And then we'll move into warrior 3 and back to high lunge. 2 more times. Good save. Up to warrior 3. Ooh, it really works the glutes. And back. One more. My left hip does not want to do that. And then back down. Oh, except I said step the feet together and hang here. Good. This time make it more active. Grab a hold of the ankles or perhaps hook the big toes and then start to really explore into the hamstring stretch with your breath. Release the hands or roll up through the spine. And we'll inhale the arms up and bring the hands to the heart. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Good. Grab a quick drink if you need one. It's hot, isn't it? Does it feel hot to everyone? It's kind of a muggy heat. Okay. So we're going to do that sequence one more time. We're going to add a couple of moves. See if I can remember it this time. Hands to the heart. Find the breath. Good. Let's inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, fold. Right leg back and sink the hips down. So we're going to do those up to standing 3 times. This time, if you can, keep the legs straight so it will look like this. If you can. If your balance is a bit wonky, just do whatever allows you to stay standing. Okay, when you're ready, we'll do 3 of those, maybe extending the leg out straight and then back. 2 more. Good. And then last time, remember to fix your gaze. That will help you as you come up and back down. And then add into the twist, left hand reaches up. This is where I put side plank. So either drop your right knee and modify your side plank, or just take the left leg back. Hold it there for a moment. And then we're going to do 3 little hip dips here. So whether you've got the bottom knee down or up, you can still sink the hips down to the floor and then lift them back up. Sink them down, lift them up one more time. Good, and then see if you can step back to a twisted lunge or runner's lunge. Good, hands come down, and let's step it to plank. So you're either going to hold plank or you're going to lower down to the forearms, back to plank 3 times this time, alternating which elbow you lead with. And we'll finish in plank. Knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. And let's take a threaded child's pose, right arm threading under, sitting back on the heels. And then we'll tuck the toes under and move to down dog. So again, we'll take those little press ups. I know it feels like there's a lot of strength training, but each strength training move is training a different part of the shoulders or arms. So I'm not doing lots of repetitive movement on one muscle. So in these, we're working the triceps, and before we were working the shoulders. So walk the feet in a little bit, and then take your little tricep press ups, taking the elbows out to the sides and back up again. And then reset your dog. And then right leg lifts into a straight hip dog. So really squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other and try and keep rotating the right hip under as you lift the left hip up. Point your toes, they're facing down, straighten your back knee. And then try to swing the leg through. And we'll come up to high lunge. Good, now straighten the back knee a bit more and then sink the hips. Nice and low. Good, hold it there and breathe. And then up to warrior 3. And back to our lunge. 2 more like that, up to warrior 3. And back. Good, one more time. And this time from warrior 3, take the hands to the floor into standing split. And then release the legs together. Good, either a passive forward fold or an active one. Stretching out or recovering. And then roll up through the spine. Inhaling, the arms lift up. And bring the hands to the heart. Take a couple of deep breaths. Good, other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and fold. Left leg goes back. Sink the hips into runner's lunge and see if you can either with a straight or a bent back leg come up to stand. And then thread it back using lots of control. Back to runner's lunge. 2 more. And last one. Great. Left hand down, right hand up. And then moving to side plank. And take your hip dips, lowering the hips to the floor and then pressing them back up. For 3, for 2, and for 1. And then step that right foot back to the front of the mat and bring the hands down. Good. Stepping to plank, either holding plank or lowering to forearm plank 3 times, alternating elbows. Great, and then lowering down and take your back bend
And thread the left arm under into your child's pose. And then we'll take it into down dog, tucking the toes under. Walk the feet in slightly and take your little tricep push-ups, turning the hands in and bending the elbows out for 3, for 2, and for 1. Good. Reset your dog and then come to that square hip dog, left leg lifts, really pointing the toes, straightening the back knee, and rolling the left hip downwards and the right hip up. And then stepping the left foot through and coming up to your high lunge. Lift the back knee and then sink the hips. And then slowly with control, warrior 3. And release, back down. Back to warrior 3. And back down. One more time. This time from warrior 3, hands to floor. And take your standing split. And then we'll release the feet side by side and take your forward bend. And then roll up through the spine. Arms float up. Hands to heart. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then shake everything out. Good work. Looking for inspiration. Right. Okay. So we're going to play with our arm balance now. I think we've warmed up the shoulders enough. So with the balance, the arm balance, it's a lot of shoulder strength work, but it's also about finding that, like a pendulum or like a seesaw, it's finding that kind of point of balance, the fulcrum, if you like. Because with that arm balance, you're basically, the front of your body is balancing out the back of your body. And if you can get that point, it actually makes you more weightless. So, rather than like balancing all my weight on my hands, I'm sort of actually just like counterbalancing. Anyway, I'll talk you through it when we're down there. But just have that idea of really trying to tip a little bit further forward than you think would be comfortable, and you might find that the back of your body becomes a little bit more weightless. That's what we're after. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or hop to plank. Before we do that, we're just going to warm up the back of the body a little bit more. So either holding plank or forearm plank. Let's take 5 breaths, really sucking in the belly. And then whether you're in, if you're in plank, lower to your forearms, and we'll all drop our hips to the floor and find Sphinx pose. So lifting up through the chest, find that stretch through the front of the body. And then coming down, we're going to take low cobra pulses. So bringing the hands back under your shoulders, you're going to come up to low cobra with the hands lifting as well. And then we're going to take 10 pulses here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Makes me want to burp. 5, 4, 3, 2, And one. Let's release the head onto the hands and just wriggle the hips out. So the second exercise we do, you should notice that this is a different set of muscles. So now that was quite high up the back. Now these will be a little bit further down. You can extend the arms out in front, and as you come up, you're going to cactus the arms. So no further than a sort of 90-degree angle, and then come down. Let's do 10 of those. Up for 10, 9, and it's really into the shoulder blade. 8, rotator cuff. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift up and hold for a moment. Lift the legs as well. And release. Let's push back into child's pose and lengthen all of that back out again. Moving to, actually, just watch me a moment. So we're going to move to downward facing dog, and we're going to lift the right leg, and we're going to play with that idea of tapping right knee to right elbow a couple of times. And then we're going to play with the idea of sliding down, because what I want you to feel is that to lift the knee from the wrist back up towards the armpit, when your knee is as high as it can be, all the muscles you're feeling in your abdominal, they're the guys you need for the arm balance, okay? So when the knee is on the wrist, when you lift it as high as you can, everything you're then engaging is what you need for this arm balance. Because if you see in the arm balance, I've got to get my knee really high on my upper arm, so it's the same muscle. So we're going to find them from dog, then we'll take a break, and then we'll play with the arm balance. So let's come up to dog. We're going to lift the right leg up into the air, and to begin with, just touch the knee to the elbow and back to single dog. We'll do that 3 times. So that you're just feeling the obliques. And then we'll take dog and lift the left leg and do the same here 3 times. Knee to elbow, just awakening the obliques. And then we'll just rest it down again into child's pose. Give those muscles a moment to relax. And this time you're going to do 3 repetitions of knee to wrist, back up to armpit, wrist. So it'll look like this. You'll come down, you'll go wrist, armpit, just 3 of those, back to dog, and then the other side, so that you're really feeling these side muscles work. So from dog, right leg lifts, knee to elbow, slide to wrist, lift up high, slide down, high, slide down. One more time, and then back to dog. If this is inaccessible, don't worry, guys, just do what you can with it. It is strong stuff. Lower and lift on the left side 3 times, and then we'll rest again. Great. Lovely. They're going to lynch you on the way out. You know that, don't you, Neil? They'll all be waiting for you in the car park. Wondering the best way to teach it. Did Josh do it from crow and then take the leg back? Did he go like that and then make you take the leg? But no, that's much harder. He didn't do that, no. Okay. Right, so from here, just watch for a moment. You're going to lift the right leg up. You're going to bring the knee to the elbow. And then you're going to experiment with bending the arms a couple of times. If that feels comfortable, the next step is to try and bring the elbow inwards and find that balance point. So you can see I'm resting on my elbow now. To keep the elbow out, that's even stronger. You might want to try that. So you're just going to find a moment where you can start to lower, bend your elbows, yeah, with the knee on your arm. So you're going to come to there and then see if you can bend your elbows and start to sink downwards. Resting on the elbow, definitely easier. So see if you can give that a go. If this is all a bit too hard, you don't have the shoulder strength yet, then just holding this is really strong, yeah, for building up shoulder muscles. So that might be enough for you. Just hold that for a few breaths. Are you getting injured, sore, pain from any of this? Okay. How does it feel? Is it okay? Yeah, nobody's got any shoulder pains or you're all okay? Right, let's go for it then. You're all like, yeah, my shoulders really hurt. Okay. I suddenly feel this aching. Okay, right leg lift. So you're going to bring your right knee to your right elbow. And you're going to use your obliques to really pin the knee to the arm, yeah? And then start to bend the elbows and see if you can take the nose towards the floor. And you can stick that elbow into your rib cage. It's the left elbow. That's it, Neil. Left elbow sticks into the rib cage. That was going to be my next step, but you can do it now if you like. Exactly. Now, Neil, you want to lift your chin. Because now, can you see I've got that counterbalance? My head, if my head was dropped, I'm not a seesaw. You've got to get the upper body and the lower, because then you'll just find you... Yes. So try and bring it in a bit. And see, I mean, you might want to rest on your left elbow. You were. Okay, good. Just checking. So Annabelle, you want to tuck the left elbow into your waist. Yes, and then put your body weight on the left elbow. Do you see what I'm saying? So watch me again. Watch my left elbow. I turn it in, and then I rest my body on it. And then I can tip. That's the cheaty trick. Go on, Neil, one more time. Right leg on right arm. No, exactly. Most of you will not be strong enough for this pose. Or flexible enough for this pose. It's a tough little pose. Well done. You got off the floor for a second. Well done. Ka-ching! Shake it all out. We'll do it on the other side. Don't hurt your wrists, Neil, please. That would be a shame after all that months of looking after them. So, if you wanted to get into arm balancing, that you would just do a lot of this anyway. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not suggesting you're going to go home or want to play with this, but the reason we're playing with it is because these are the moves you would do just to build up strength anyway. Is your wrist hurting, Bridget? It's okay. Okay. So just again, on this side, you're going to lift the left leg, you're going to tap the knee to the elbow, and then use your obliques to pin it. And then you're slowly going to bend the elbows and try and get the right elbow under your rib cage or hip. And then you just find that point of balance.
Presumably the higher up the arm, the easier it is.
Yes. Exactly. You mean with the knee? Yes. I mean, ideally, it's right up towards the armpit, but obviously that takes a lot of flexibility. Because actually, when you come to do it without using your elbow as a pin, that's the key. So if I wasn't going to use my elbow to rest on, I'd have to get my knee so high into my armpit, because that's the only way to get the lower body off the floor. One-legged crow, very difficult pose if you're not balancing on your elbow. Really, really hard. They make you do it in Ashtanga third series from a headstand. Yeah. That's it, yeah. That's the idea. So shake it out. The other place to get to it, Neil, is from a tripod headstand. And that is another way of getting to it. I'm trying to get up like that. You haven't got the balancing trick there. But that's another place. We'll play with headstand in a minute, shaking everything out. And then we'll just stretch it out in child's pose. Good, and then just come up to sitting. Let's swing the legs around. We'll take some flexibility work. We'll start with Baddha Konasana. So bring the heels in towards the pubis, towards the pelvis. Grab a hold of the feet. Roll the shoulders down, long spine. Press those knees outwards. And then with a flat back first, we'll come forwards. And you're feeling that stretch into the inner groins. That feels good, actually. We've worked quite a lot of that hip area. So this is a nice release for it. And then we'll round the spine and take the head towards the feet. And release. And then we'll take the legs out to the side for Upavishta Konasana. And we'll just slide the hands down towards the ankles. Get a grip wherever you can. And then start to lengthen the body down to the floor. Breathe into the resistance and the tightness there. And then just for fun, can you find your balance? You can either just stay here if you want to, or bend the knees and just see if you can lift your heels off the floor. Maybe you can come to here, maybe you can come to here. Maybe you can catch your toes, find your balance, suck your core in, lift your chest. Lovely, everyone's gone for the hardest option. And release. Good. So we're just going to spend 5 minutes playing with headstand because I hardly ever do because it's a bit of a hassle, I suppose. But I do think it's such a fun pose, and I personally practice it regularly. So perhaps I should teach it a bit more often. Let me just make sure they're not going to just have a blank screen for the next 5 minutes of class. Yeah, that's good. You can still see me. Okay, so most of you have probably done this with me once or twice before. It's the 3-stage headstand when you're learning headstand. Stage 1, I'll show you first, and I'll talk you through it. You take your toes to the skirting board, and then you place your elbows under your shoulders. Interlace your hands. Release your little fingers so that one sits inside the other, not on top of. And then you place your head where your hands are. And then stage 1 is just to walk to 90 degrees. And then the practice is to lift the head off the floor. Okay, you can see my head's free. That means I'm using my lats and I'm not dumping a whole load of weight onto my neck. Well, once you can lift your head off the floor in that position, you turn it round. You set up in exactly the same way. And you tiptoe forwards and you engage the lats again. And you practice finding that point of balance. So stage 1 is to try and get both feet up, then you lift your knees, and eventually you straighten your legs. Obviously the wall's there to, if you overcompensate, it will catch you. But you should only do that stage once you've got that ability to lift the head. And then Neil, you can do a headstand in the room. Can you do a headstand in the middle of the room already? I'm guessing you can't. Okay, well, if you want to play with it, because just what you were saying from your class the other day, tripod headstand is the other option, where you have your hands and your head, and you're not interlacing them, and they make a triangle. And this is the one that you would play with if you were trying to go to crow and back, which I think was what you were talking about the other day. You'd do that from tripod headstand, not from this variation. Okay, so move to the wall unless you have a strong headstand you want to practice in the middle of the room. That's fine.
Sure. Yeah, sure. They're both variations. In Ashtanga, they only in primary do. They say you should learn the one with the hands cupped first, but in other practices of yoga, Iyengar and stuff, they always use a tripod. You have done that before? Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying that different traditions do the variations. So any of those is fine. Sure, if you've got neck problems or shoulder injuries, don't do this. Don't do this at home. Okay, you can just, you could actually either do a pigeon or the upside down pigeon and just get a bit of a really nice glute stretch. It's always a goodie. Right, so exactly, and then release one little finger inside the other. No, sorry, they're still bent. They're bent, but can you see I've got one inside the other instead of on top of? Just so that they are both resting on the floor. And then you put your head in, and then you can walk, straighten your legs first, and then walk a little way off the floor. Yeah, you'll know if you're not in quite the right position because you'll feel like you're tipping too far forwards. That's it. Yeah. As far as you want, as is comfortable, and then just get the idea. Do you want to come in a bit closer? Yeah. The only thing I would say, Annabelle, is just hold your elbows.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think they look a bit wide to me, yeah. So that tells you how far apart the elbows should be. And then set it up. Yep. One in front of the other. Yeah, yeah. I think you might have gone a bit far now. Come back, yeah. Because you want to make a 90-degree angle. You still look a bit far out. I'd come to here. Bring your arms back a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Now try there. And really press into the lats. There you go. That's the right angle.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you just need to work on those back muscles. And then you just literally, I mean, you don't have to get your head off the floor, that's hard, but I want you to get the idea that you're taking some of the weight off the head and into the elbows. Your elbows should have your body weight, not your head, yeah? That's it, Elsa, that looks great. You can't move your head, but can you transfer some of the weight off your head into your elbows? So you're pressing the elbows into the mat, yes, and your lats are working. That's exactly the idea. Looks really nice. How are you doing? Yep. So you interlace, and then do you see I've got one finger inside the other rather than on top of, just so that you've got both little fingers resting on the mat.
All right.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And then put your head actually in, so the crown of your head will be on the floor here. That's it. Yeah. It is a headstand, so you are standing on your head. I'd say this bit of your head, so a little bit. Tuck your chin in a bit more. Yeah, and take the top of the head onto the floor so that your hands are here.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. And maybe you don't even want to walk up the wall, just see how you feel about it. Straightening the legs, that's it. And now see if you can lift your head up by pressing your elbow. There you go. That's
right, yes.
Yeah, can you see you're using your back muscles there? Yeah. So that would be the practice. Elsa, you might want to turn around. You look quite strong there, and give it a go the other way. How are you going? I think you're a bit far away, Carolyn, so just touch that's it. And then where your shoulders are, you just hug your elbows in. So that's how wide the elbows are. Now release, interlace, and release the little fingers. So just one inside the other. Yeah, and then they are your foundation. And then the top of the head goes down and you're hugging the back of your head. Good. Now just straighten your knees. And then walk your feet. That's it. You don't need to go very high. That's fine. Yeah, it's slippy, isn't it? And then just focus on taking some of the weight into the elbows and off the head.
Oh dear.
Is it too slippy? No, arm strength.
Yeah,
you see, you can feel that all the weight's dumping on the head. Yeah. So this is a great practice. It will improve your yoga because you won't be relying on your shoulders anymore. You'll be using your lats. This is a great lat strengthener. Do you need help? That's it, lovely. Right, now bend one leg and bring your foot in. Now bend the other. And I want you to squeeze this hand between your feet. Bring the other one up. Squeeze this hand between both feet. Bring your feet together. Now squeeze my hand really hard. This one. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. There you go. I'm not holding you at all. That's all you. Got it. Try and get into the elbows. Lift the head off the floor as much as you can. There you go. That's your headstand. Yeah?
Yeah.
And when you come down, you bend your knees and tuck them in towards your chest as you come down. That's it. Yeah. Great. Brilliant. You might feel a bit tight here tomorrow. Yeah. So just stretch out in child's pose now, lengthen that area out. Well done, everyone. Good work.
You stop yourself from falling over. Is that just a practice?
From falling which way?
That way.
Show me. Let's see what you're doing. What, going over towards the wall, you mean?
So if you've got your legs back, you've got more pressure in your arms.
Yeah.
And so you try and relieve the pressure, but there's a balance point where you tip over.
Yeah. Core, mainly. It's mainly core, but also making sure that you are kind of pushing away from the floor a bit. Let me see what you're doing. You mean your legs are hitting the wall and you're trying to bring them back towards you? Is that what you mean? Lovely. Yeah, really good control. Now squeeze my hand between your feet. That's it. There you go.
Is it to do with my head?
No, I think it's more to do with allowing your hips to sway backwards. So if you bring, that's it. Do you see? Now sucking your belly in has brought you back into alignment. Is that okay? Yeah? Which way? Back that way? Back this way. So think about bringing your lowest ribs towards your hips. Don't flare your ribs, so tuck your ribs in and that's it. And then that will bring you back into alignment. You are in alignment, actually. There.
But
You feel like you want to fall.
I feel more comfortable when your arms are fully engaged and you're almost supporting your weight back in the room.
Yeah.
But then it's trying to get up, so there's no weight in your arms. Then I fall forward.
And you fall that way. I don't really understand what you're saying, so say it again.
So you feel more comfortable when the weight of your body is into the room.
Yes.
And you're using your arms to try and hold it up there.
But then you can't kick up, you're saying?
No, I am there.
Yeah.
To try and alleviate the pressure in your arms.
Right.
Try and move the weight a bit forward.
Right.
And I go forward.
Okay. So don't alleviate the pressure in your arms. That's what it's supposed to be. And that's the mistake people make, is that they end up dumping it on the head and neck. And it's supposed to be in your arms. And to get it out, to get the ache out of the arms, you need to push the elbows in, because it should actually be in your upper back. It should be here. So if your arms are up like this, it will be here. It's, we've talked about it loads, but the moment you do that, it's in your upper back. So you want to get it out of here and into there.
So lifting up from there into my arms.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes. So it's that idea of trying to lift the head off the floor will engage your lats. Yeah. Brilliant, everyone. Well done. How are we doing for time? Right. We'll just take a quick Shavasana, guys. Let's just lie down. Take a quick twist into your spine. Twist the knees to the side. Stretch the arms away. Close the eyes and just take a moment to really focus on your breathing. I'll stop the video there and let people at home just find their own Shavasana.